Good evening to everyone. It's time to record the next speaking practice video. And before I start, I want to say that I don't feel like recording this video at all. I am exhausted. I have just finished it. I have just finished chest training. I had a meal, but it's not enough. I am a little bit hungry still. I feel pain, sore in my muscles, and my head also has I feel like a little bit tension. A little bit tension in a nervous system because of very hard exercising. But still, in spite of all of the things, despite my conditions, I feel like to record the speaking practice video right now, it's very important. It's very important, and can't, I simply can't put away this routine today. I don't know. I can't explain it. I understand that this speaking practice video might be not very good or even worse than usual speaking practice videos, but I feel like it's necessary. It's just necessary, as I said, despite of my conditions, in spite of what I think, what I want. I have the I have the urge. I have the urge to do speaking practice video today before my energy bar will go even lower, and I just simply shut down. I mean, go to sleep. Before this happened, before this will happen, I'm gonna to create a speaking practice video. So this was a little bit explanation about in what conditions and how in what conditions I am today, and how it might be difficult for me to record this speaking practice video. And uh, yes, and my condition also might affect the quality of today practice. But because my mind is all my nervous system, my mind is exhausted, and still it needs to work, it needs to think, just in order to build sentences in English language and try to explain something in a different language. It's a pressure, it's difficult, it requires resources, and I have a limited resources now, but still, as I said, I have a feeling that doing this practice today is very important, in spite of the condition in which I am, despite of tiredness and everything else. This is just the best day to record this video. I can't explain why, but I'm following this urge. I'm following this stimulation, this urge inside me, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And so, without further ado, let's start to answer the questions. As usual, I asked ChatGPT to help me in that, and he generated for me 10 questions in 10 questions from B2 to C1 level, similar to how it will be on an IELTS at the IELTS exam. Yes. So in this way, I'm practicing not only speaking, I'm also preparing myself a little bit for the future IELTS test. Yes, that's why this routine is important, and that's why I need to do it. I need to do it daily in order to create a habit just to speak English. Of course, not fluently, of course, not as a native and doing mistakes during it, but uh, if you know the better choice, if you know how to start speaking at the beginning from the fluent level, you can share it in a comments below. But I don't know any other methods, any other things that I need to do that will help me speak fluently, except just speaking itself. So, okay, okay. Let's start do this speaking practice video. Question number one: How often do you communicate with your friends, and in what ways? Um, Nowadays, recently, and actually, I'm communicating with my friends. I communicate with my friends hardly ever, because um, if if do not talk about if not talking about uh deep things and just keep it superficially, I the simple answer will be I don't have a spare time to invest it in a communication with friends. When I was a child, when I was a teen, yes, I have a lot of free time, and of course, I spend this time with my friends for fun and for pleasure. But now I don't have this free time. Time is limited. I really have not much hours after a day to spend it on rest, and spending this couple of precious hours with friends not always the preferable choice for me, because I also want read something, I want play video game. Probably I won't just lay on the sofa and do nothing. Different day, different desires, but because of the time is limited and a lot of time consumed by studying, job, and training, there is a little time that I have for myself, and even more little time that I have to spend with friends. That's why I communicate now with my friends hardly ever. But but as I usually said, this in spite of this situation, in spite of uh, amount of work that I need to do now, um, I meet with my friend. We usually get together and play board games once in a month, twice in a month, something like that. Yes, once in a month, twice in a month, and this is enough. This is enough frequency for me now. Yes, maybe for them it's not much, but for me now it's balanced way to spend time with them. To spend time with them. What kind of gifts do you like to give or receive? The gifts that has the gifts that have a purpose. Yes. For example, you know the person very well or not very well, but you communicate with this person, you interested in a person life, and because of it, usually you know what would be suitable for person to receive, and or base and uh, based on this, you choose the present that will be useful and desirable and suitable for this person according to their needs, and just simply give it. Yes, I don't like meaningless gifts, like the things that have no use for the person. I like gifts that are can be and need be. Yes, I just like giving the useful things, or at least the things that a person need or want to have. Yes, and I like the receive, and I like to receive the same kind of gifts. The next question: If you could change something about your city, what would it be? Uh, the management of the city, the government of the city, and the way how the government uh, care about the city. Because in my city there is a lot of in my country, in the city, doesn't matter, corruption everywhere. I mean, Yes, just simple corruption, money corruption. A lot of institutions are corrupted. A lot of things are not done. A lot of things aren't done properly, especially healthcare level, urban care level. I mean, just well-being of the city that provided by different institutions on a bad level, or at least on a level that might be much more better, but it's not, only because of the corruption, only because of the corruption and the bad management. And that I would love to change in my city, or at least that I would love to have changed in my city, because it's not my goal to try to change the city. My goal is to change my life, yes, and create something interesting and good in this life. And probably then, after I will change my life, after I will have resources and abilities and possibilities to help somehow the city, probably I will do it. But now I'm should, need, and have to concentrate on myself. Part 2, Q card, B2 C1 level. Describe a time when you had to make an important decision. You should say what the situation was, what decision you made, how you made your choice, and explain how you felt about the outcome. Okay, I've already answered on this type of question, and for me, it's difficult to talk about because every day I make an important decision. For example, right now, I'm doing speaking practice. I'm not doing anything else. And in spite of the fact, as I explained at the beginning of the video, that I feel myself absolutely exhausted, probably not very well, also. But still, I do what I need to do. I do what it is important for me, and this is my important decision for today. Actually, to record this speaking practice video. This is my important decision, and I put efforts in order to start doing it. And even now, I'm putting efforts to talk English. Yes, because my mind is exhausted, as I explained at the beginning of the video. And explain how you felt about the outcome. I felt very well, at least not physically, mentally. I feel very well that I pushed myself a little bit to start recording this speaking practice video, because this is very important. This is a very important exercise and routine, and thanks to this routine, I'm improving my speaking skills daily. Yes, this is the only tool that I now can put in the work in order to get my skill enhanced, especially, I mean, in a speaking manner. I mean, in a matter of speaking. Yes, in a matter of speaking practice. Yes. So it was Q card. Let's move to the part 3, discussion questions, C1 level. Okay, sorry. The question number 4. What factors should people consider before making a big life decision? Depends on the situation, depends on what exactly the life decision we talk about. Yes, I need more details to give elaborated answer on this question. But okay, if it's question in general, let's try to think about it in general. Before making a big life decision, I don't know what might be a big life decision. Probably changing the country where you live in. It's a big life decision. Yes, it's a big life decision for some person. For other person, it might be changing the workplace, changing the job. Just any change that person could bring in its life might be a big decision for them. But okay, let's concentrate just on the process of making this decision, how probably to consider and how probably to decide what to do. Yes. And the best way is just simply, in my case, as I think I sincerely think that this is the right thing that I'm now going to say. I think this is the best method for every person. Is just to ask yourself what you really want, what you really feel, and according not according to not according to the environment, not according to the outer factors, yes, circumstances. You need to put it aside for a moment and just ask only yourself sincerely. Do you want to take this step? Do you want to do it? Do, or not? Yes. No circumstances, no other facts, no nothing that can influence your choice. You just sincerely asking yourself if there is only me who can influence this decision, if this only me, only my desire that is matter, do I really want to make this big step in my life or I don't want to? And usually the answer will appear. Yes, the answer will appear because the only person who knows what is better for you, it's you. So, in my case, in my opinion, I think the best way in order to decide to make some big life decisions or not is just to simply ask yourself, do you really want it or not? If yes, do it. If you feel that this is not for you, this is not right for you, better to put it away. Yes. The inner compass never lies. Yes, the inner compass never lies. The true you always know what it is better for you. I and I and I tend to trust myself in it. Yes, in every difficult decision, usually very difficult decision, if I have doubts about it, just a little doubts. I mean, no doubts about will I succeed or not doubts what other people will think. Doubts about my own will and my own desire to do it. If I have a little doubt inside myself, it means that this is not my choice. This is wrong choice. Yes, because usually when you see the right things, when you usually you feel it very very well when you do the right things, and there is no much to even to discuss. You know that you're doing right because this answer, this is thing is right for you. You know it. You have a confidence in it, unshakable confidence, and this is a sign that you making a right choice. At least that's how I see it. This is my vision and my answer on this question. Question number 5. If young people were taught decision making skills at school, what difference would it make? What? I don't even know what decision making skill is because I explained how I see decision making in general, or how I see decision making precisely and uh, yes, I explained how I see decision making, and I don't even know about different skills and tactics about making a decision. So probably it's my miseducation because I don't know nowhere, no, not in school, not in university, not in college, nowhere was taught the decision making process. I don't even know the subject that might teach it. Probably logic or something like that, but I don't have logic. I didn't have logic in my university, so it's hard for me to say. But I think the skill. The skill decision making, I mean, the subject about decision making, even at school, at university, at least, it would enhance the logical thinking, the ability to think, and per se the and per se makes the decisions. So I think it wouldn't go amiss. I think like in a school there is a lot of subjects that are not so necessary for children to attend, and instead of these unnecessary subjects, it might be decision making. Yes, the lesson devoted to decision making. Why not? I think it would do well for the children. Yes, for anyone actually, even for the teacher, because it's a life required necessary skill for every person to have. The next question: do you think it's better to follow your emotions or logic when making choices? Do you think it's better to follow your emotions or logic when making choices? Good question. And I think partly I already answered on it in the first question. In my opinion, very difficult, very inner driving, very important and big decisions should be made emotionally. Not like emotionally in anger or sadness. No, I mean emotionally by asking yourself what you really want, what you as a person, you as a human being, you as a creature, uh, you as a small life in this world want. What you want. Yes, it's and what you think right for you. Yes, ask your nature about it. This is my vision, and it 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 good for very big and very important decision in life. I like the direction defining decisions. Yes, in which direction you will go for the next 10, 20 years. Yes, this is when you need to ask yourself sincerely what you want. But about other decisions, like for example, what to buy today, what to eat, what to cook, how to solve the problem, just general everyday tasks, general everyday features that needs to be solved. Yes, they quests features that needs to be solved. In this case, logic is the best because the better you think, the more logical mind you have, the easier for you to calculate different situations and predict different outcomes and usually choose the best way to fix the problem. Yes, logic helps in this way. Yes. So I think my answer is it depends on the situation. If we talk about huge decisions, uh, decisions that will took years, if we talk about very personal and life very personal and life define life determined decisions, uh, in this case it's better to ask yourself. If we talk about everyday ev- if we talk about everyday tasks, so in this case logic much more better. Yes, this was my answer. How has technology changed the way people make everyday decisions? What a difficult question. I don't know. Probably now we have the opportunity to ask ChatGPT for help or Google the topic on the forum in the internet, on the Reddit, for example, to look for other people opinions. Yes, and based on this information, we can make our own decision. I think it's just give us more opportunity to look for the necessary information to make a decision. Yes, I think it makes the decision making easier. Yes, with technology, because I explain why. We have access to the ocean of different information, usually on every topic. And not only that, we have now ChatGPT, the new feature, and we can use ChatGPT simply to counsel with them, simply to ask for help, to ask for advice, and etc. etc. It also works very well. Yes, and that was my answer. I myself usually ask ChatGPT about an advice. It's absolutely normal things. And usually advices are based on the real information and absolutely logical and helpful. Yes. And not only me, I think many people work with ChatGPT, talk with ChatGPT, and solve their situations with the ChatGPT. If people had unlimited information about the future, what would it affect? How would it affect their decisions? If people had unlimited information about the future, how would it affect their decisions? I don't know. It's so huge. It's so big questions that might be elaborated, but I don't have mind resources now. I don't have mind power to elaborate it in a way as it would be interesting. So I think I simply would say that at first I think it would lead to the chaos, absolute chaos, because people would be constantly changing their decisions, constantly looking for a better outcome, and it might just simply the collapse action and decision making at all. Yes, people will just unstoppably try to change things for the future, unstoppably try to change things for the future, and I think it would lead to the action paralysis. Yes, it would lead to the action paralysis. Sorry.
Paralysis.
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 Paralysis. Yes, it would lead to the action paralysis. Yes, this is my answer, my opinion. And I think I expressed why. Yes, sorry for that. Mind is really, uh, I'm really tired. Yes. So the next question: What role does advice from other play? Sorry. What role does advice from others play when people face difficult choices? What role does advice from others play when people face difficult choices? Good question. Uh, what role? I mean, what role it might play, except the role that you need to hear other opinion, you need the information, you need to know the perspective of different people in order to make a difficult choice. So you just simply ask them to say to you how they would how they would act and what they would do in this situation. And based on their opinions, it's a little bit easier for you to make your own. Yes, because you already calculate different outcomes and you hear different ideas. Your mind is working. Yes, your mind is working on the problem solving, and this is helps if you ask the proper people, the people with experience, the people that already dealt with this problem, dealt there's people that already dealt with this problem. Yes, in this case the advices would be useful, the information would be useful. But if you will ask just different people, you know, as much people, as much opinions, you can very easily to get on a irrelevant opinion, yes, on a false opinion and on the false perspective. If you would ask questions from the people who are not who have no experience, yes, they simply can't help you because they have no experience of solving the same problem. Yes, they have nothing to share except of their assumption. Yes, an assumption usually don't work very well when you need to make a difficult choice. Yes, and that was my answer. The next question: do you believe mistakes are necessary for personal growth? Do you believe mistakes are necessary for personal growth? Why or why not? Very good question. Very good question. And the last question for today. Yes, I think the mistakes is not only necessary for personal growth, it's they are essential part of the growth. Like you do something, you do mistake, you learn from your mistake, you get an experience, and next time you do better. You do better, you do mistakes again, you do even more better. You learn through the mistakes. Yes, it's the most natural process in the world, learning, and you learn on mistakes. Yes, not only in personal growth, in any other field, in any other, in everything actually, in everything. Doesn't matter what you do, you learn through the experience, and mistakes is a part of experience. Yes. So you should be normal, absolutely adequate and normal, and do not be critical to yourself when you do mistakes, because this is a part of how you enhancing and how you improving. Yes, essential part. What about personal growth? Of course, in a personal growth is the most important thing, I think, because you can actually learn how to grow personally from other people experience and other people perspectives. The best way to learn, and usually the only one way to properly learn how to become a better person, is to make a lot of mistakes, understand them, and fix them. Yes, understand them, have an experience. Like in Lord of the Rings, we Gandalf said a phrase to Pippin: the the hot what mean the burned the burnt finger, or the the burnt yes the burnt arm, or the burnt fire. Oh, I forget, sorry. I mean, he said something like uh the fire teach the best. I mean, like, if you burnt your hand once, it's very it's very uh unlikely that you would put your hand in the fire the second time. Yes, because the fire teaches the best. Yes, something like that. If you make a drastic mistake, you get a lot of experience, and there is a huge chance, and I even could say 100% chance that you're not gonna repeat this mistake if you're a sentient human, because you get yourself burned, you learn from that, and you're not gonna put your hand in the fire once again. Yes, because you know the circumstances, you know the outcomes, you know that you gonna be burned, and it would hurt a lot. So you're not gonna to do it, and you're not gonna do it, and you're not gonna repeat it. Yes, that's why for personal growth, I think the personal experience is the most important, because the best we learn on our personal fails, on our personal mistakes, and on our personal experience. I'm talking about myself now too. I get a lot of lessons from my own mistakes, and I'm not gonna repeat them never again. Yes. Of course it hurt. Of course it hurts, because let's say I was born. I was burnt. It hurts. Yes, it hurts. Mistakes hurts, but they are the best teacher that we might have in our life. The bad things that will stimulate us to grow. Yes, our mistakes, in order to not repeat them again. And yes, so this is my approach. This is my outlook and my point of view on this question. And I think this is all for today. It was 10 questions. I answered them all. Probably not very well. Probably I didn't. Probably I haven't been looking for more complicated words, and simply have been speaking in a level that I can perform now, that I can execute now. But it's okay. It's okay. It also was very important exercise because I've been training speaking English when my mind is exhausted. I mean, um, if I was speaking in my native language, it it wouldn't be it if I had spoke in my native language, it wouldn't ha- it would have it wouldn't have uh, felt difficult. Yes. So the point source, yes, I get it, and the point of this exercise today was to perform English when my mind is exhausted, because I wanted to test my skills. I wanted to create this a little bit habit, this a little bit situation when, when it even hard for you to build a thoughts in your own language, but you do it in English. It means it's like an exercise on endurance. Yes, on language endurance. And I think I succeeded in it today. Because I did it actually. I've been speaking not for 1 hour, but for 37 minutes. Yes, it also very good result. And the thing is that I wanted to say to myself before I finish this practice video for today, that I should be less judgmental on myself. I mean, I should be less critical to myself, because of course I do mistakes. Of course I'm trying. Of course I'm studying, and it's not always moving very fast. In my case, probably I am progressing slower than other people in language learning. But still, I do it. I do it daily. I do it in a not very pleasant circumstances. I don't give up, and I continue moving. Yes, and that is what's important. That is the core thing, the most important thing in a studying process. Just keep it, do it, um, continuously, consistency, and day after day. Even if the progress is slow, if you are in action, if you are moving, eventually you will cover the distance. Probably later, probably slower, probably not on time, but eventually you will cover, and that is what matters for me. To cover the distance. Doesn't matter how fast or how slow it's gonna be. I want simply to cover the distance. I want simply to move. At first, I want to fasten the B2 level of English, and after that, I want to move to C1. I want to finish this marathon of language learning. I want move to C1 level of English. Yes, this is my goal. This is the end task of this language marathon in English. I want to get to the end of the road. I want cover the path. I want get the C1 level of English. But stop, the next sign is B2 level. Yes, I'm not even looking for a C1 now. I'm looking for a B2. I want to fasten. I want firm, stable, solid B2 level of English. Yes, that's very important for me. Because be, I'm already sorry, I already can communicate. I already can understand. I already can watch, read and write on English. Uh, yes, already, but I won't do it better, and I won't do it in a relaxed way. I mean, I want to do it in an authentic, natural way. Yes, the things that I like now, the things that I lack now, the ability to uh, fully, authentically use the language. Of course, I know a lot of grammar construction. I still continue learning grammar. I understand a lot of words. I can read books. I can, yeah, as I said, yes, I can use the language now. I can interact with in this language, and I can talk and I can build dialogues. But it's not authentic yet. It works, but the tool not polished yet. And now I want to. At first, I want to make the perfect iron. Let's say I want to make the hardest, not hardest, but I want to make the perfect iron for this tool in order to make it very durable and strong. Let's say this is a B2 level. How I see B2 level: when your tool, when your abilities is very strong, but you lack of polishing. Yes, you lack of polishing, but already your tool can do almost everything, but in a little bit rough, raw way. Not um, efficiently, but not glamorous, but what's the word? Eloquently. Eloquent. Let's eloquency, efficacy. Not efficacy, but
Eloquent.
eloquent. Yes, eloquent.
Eloquent.
Eloquent. Uh, as I said, my tool is sufficient. My tool, yes, B2 is when your tool sufficient, absolutely useful, and yes, absolutely useful. It's sufficient, but not absolutely useful and efficient. But it it has luck, but it lacks the eloquency.
Eloquent.
Eloquent,
Eloquence.
eloquence, but it lacks eloquence. Yes, eloquent, but it lacks eloquence. Yes, yes, I expressed my point, I think. So now, the stage where I am now, the point, the place, yeah, I don't know, the safe point, you know, where I am now is that I'm working on making my tool efficient, durable, and effective, not eloquent. Eloquency is C1. Eloquency is about C1 level of English. Now I'm fastening the B2. And this is my goal, and that's why I'm absolutely glad with these speaking practice videos. Of course, I hear that my speech not fluent. Of course, I hear that I have lack of eloquency, uh, but the tool is working. I'm I'm exercising the talking. I'm exercising by expressing my thoughts. I'm I can use this language. Yes, I can use this language, and this is my level of English now. I can use this language. I can interact. I can uh, read. I can talk. I can write. I can interact. Yes, I can be in an English speaking environment, absolutely normally. But I have a lack of eloquency. I have a lack of skill in. I have a lack of skill in eloquent speaking. Yes. Sorry for repeating this word. It's the sixth time, but at least in this way, I remembered it very well. So, I think this is all for the speaking practice video. I claim my goal. My goal is to elaborate my language to a strong B2, to fasten, to elaborate, to yes, to fasten, to elaborate, and to make my language. Sorry, my goal is to fasten the B2 level of English, to make it even more strong. I want to reach to B2 and I want to fasten it as hard, as strong, as firm as possible. Yeah, this is my goal and this is on which I am working. Not on eloquency and C1 level of English. Now I'm working on strong, solid, unshakable, undefeatable, permanent B2. And thanks for watching and see you in the next speaking video. I think it will be tomorrow. Goodbye for today. Have a good rest.